Chapter 1. Destination Denver. Colorado Calling. A blank canvas for new life. It's human nature to actively travel towards excitement. There are cities that pulse with the adrenaline of humanity, and it's thrilling to consider how we might fit into a place where all that is contemporary and cutting-edge finds space to collide. Many of us yearn to be a part of those places where we witness culture thriving, opportunity knocking, and the possibility of obtaining happiness always within reach. While it's a far-fetched to say that a city in and of itself can inhabit all these enticing characteristics, Denver gets amazingly close. Denver is a daring city where risk and reward run high, and the thrill of it all seems to invite newcomers in by the thousands. The evidence that many others take a similar point of view is clear in the ever-growing population boom Denver has been experiencing for the last several years. With an exploding housing market, huge hiring rates, and a population as diverse as the natural world that surrounds it, Denver calls to individuals from all walks of life, beckoning them towards something new and refreshing. The city itself markets its boundaries as a place where creativity is born. A blank canvas for starting a brand new life within the capital boundaries of Colorado. It's a hard pitch to resist. Maybe it's something in the mountain air that flows over the Front Range, or the thrill of witnessing the wonder that is urban sprawl happening right before your very eyes, but Denver is a city that demands your attention from the moment you first lay eyes on it. Outdoor enthusiasts find themselves captivated by the proximity the city holds to some of the most rugged and adrenaline-inducing terrain. Those whose hearts beat for an urban scene full of fresh music and modern flavors find Denver to be an ever-revolving door of artistic talent and opportunity. Still others flock to the capital of Colorado for a chance to earn a degree at one of the renowned universities Denver hosts city center. Progressive, passionate, and constantly pursuing the balance between the natural world and the urban center, Denver is a unique city on the map when it comes to discovering places that aim for authenticity. It's not a problem-free city, but that's how people like it. It opens doors for potential solutions customized to the city they are designed for. Where a collective pursuit of something raw, revealing, and freeing collides, Denver finds the voice and strength of its siren call. A city of growth. Where once upon a time Denver was a place people seemed to move exclusively for the outdoor adventure, today the list of reasons to move to Denver has grown exponentially. Over the past decade, Denver has seen a hike in population like never before. Initially attributed to the legalization of marijuana alongside a booming demand for workers, Denver quickly changed from quiet mountainside oasis to bustling urban sprawl of creativity and commerce before its residents' very eyes. As with all change, this has presented its benefits and pitfalls. The Denver Post reported in March of 2018 that the city had seen nearly 100,000 residents added to its roster in just 7 years. With the influx of outsiders came a growing demand for housing options, improved infrastructure, parks, and subdivisions. Where once Denver was simply Denver, today the city is a virtual patchwork of neighborhoods and suburbs that define themselves as uniquely a part of the larger Denver picture. Downtown Denver has taken on a life of its own, with business booming in the financial sectors. Young professionals from across the country are finding a place to thrive within the context of Denver's growth and opportunity. Similarly, construction is a near-constant state of being both within the heart of the city and beyond. Places like the Denver Tech Center and the suburbs of Highlands Ranch have seen incredible numbers of residential homes, apartment buildings, and condos find a place within their boundaries, and more seem to be in the works as we speak. Many longtime Denver residents have found the influx of out-of-towners refreshing, but also challenging where the change concerns housing prices and traffic. In the past 5 years, Denver residents have seen the cost of living skyrocket, creating a stunning gap in home values and pushing many residents to the outskirts in the name of budget-friendly options. Congestion on the roadways has also become a primary concern for those who now call Denver home. While local government officials furiously work on plans to expand interstates and highways in the name of stressless commutes, drivers experience long waits and frequent accidents on the primary lanes leading into central Denver. While there is much to be done in the way of adjustments, Denver is a city open to change, and it hosts a population of eclectic and energetic individuals who are pursuing their passions with determination and carrying the tradition of creativity along with them. Those out-of-state license plates you see as you make your way through Denver are a testament to the power and pull of the city. From artists to engineers, financial experts to those who walk on the greener side of life, Denver is a growing city working on making space for everyone now and well into the future. A few things to know before you go. Every city holds close to its heart those few unique cliches that make it both charming and irresistible. Every traveler wants to know if the rumors are true, and when it comes to this sentiment, Denver is no exception to the rule. Assumption number 1. In the wake of the legalization of cannabis in Colorado, many feared the city might transform into a zombie land of leaf-loving enthusiasts. I'm happy to announce that while the cannabis industry and those individuals associated with it are thriving, the city has not lost its sense of self in any sort of all-consuming phenomenon. If you are not used to marijuana being so freely referenced, a trip to Denver can be a bit shocking, but I promise, the surprise quickly passes as you realize that it's a part of life in Denver, but not necessarily a priority. Dispensaries and clinics are built in those same places any other business might be found. Next door to gas stations, across the street from Target, or close by cafes, and it's not uncommon to see a green logo indicating the business intentions of those inside. For those who are traveling through and haven't witnessed this before, you'll find it to be less intense than previously imagined. Once you realize what you're looking at, you'll soon understand that the advertisements for such establishments are often understated and non-threatening to those who don't partake. In fact, much like other pharmacies, those that provide cannabis tend to take on a rather generic appearance once you've seen enough of them. Assumption number 2. When it comes to places where pets may possibly outnumber people, Denver reigns supreme. Yes, the rumors on this one are very true. The idea that Denver is made up of dog-first people is one of those cliches that is definitely Denver accurate. Locals and out-of-towners alike love their dogs and make no apologies about the fact that their canine pals hold the same place in their hearts as most people. It's not uncommon to see residents walking down the street with several leashes in hand. From downtown social scenes to the family-friendly suburbs of the city, dogs make up an important part of most Denver residents' lives. In fact, the dog walking service that goes by the name of Rover has seen incredible success in Denver over the past few years as the population growth occurs on both the human and four-legged friend scale. Assumption number 3. It's easy to assume that Denver's many new residents, incredible job market, and excessive housing market would make for a city that's rolling in wealth and opportunity for everyone. Unfortunately, this isn't quite the case. As with many big cities, great growth has also left certain groups of residents out in the cold. Downtown Denver is home to an ever-increasing number of homeless citizens. As the city continues to expand, there is a strain on resources born out of a period of time where many services are frantically playing catch-up in order to meet the new levels of demand. While many of Denver's homeless struggle with unresolved mental health issues, others are part of a unique urban camper movement. This group is primarily made up of young adults who have taken to the streets in a conscious act of rebellion against a life of conformity. Unfortunately, this creates a difficult situation for the city of Denver in general as officials work through potential paths towards housing those who need it most and helping others overcome addictions and adverse environments. Assumption number 4. Denver's prime mountainside location frames the Front Range with affection, and just beyond those gentle peaks rises the rustic Rocky Mountains. Beckoning to those with a heart for the slopes, many assume that everyone in Denver is taking on black diamonds every snowy weekend they can. And they just might be right. While it's clearly not fair to say that all of Denver skis regularly, a large portion of the population is dedicated to the outdoor world, and skiing comes as part of the package deal. Can you blame them? With some of the best runs in the country sitting right outside, it's hard to imagine anyone turning down the chance to take to the mountaintops and try their skills at skiing. Good news is in store for those who haven't shred the slopes before but want to give it a go in Denver. Nearly every expert here is waiting to pass on tips, tricks, and advice to newbies who are heading for the mountains. With enough classes, outdoor groups, and individual tour options to fill a book of their own, learning to ski when you're in Denver doesn't have to be a scary or impossible experience. In fact, a ski trip is built on the idea of camaraderie. There is a social aspect to ski getaways that makes it just as much about the people as the fresh powder. Taking some time for the mountains is a good way to get a sense of local life and maybe learn some Denver-centric outdoor lingo along the way. Finding Denver for yourself. Whether those funny, wacky, or weird rumors are true or not doesn't matter so much when you're looking to travel to Denver. Half the fun in discovering a new place is learning how it exists on its own and also becomes a part of your life in a completely unique way. Finding out just what it is that makes Denver so appealing to the masses these days is an adventure worth your while. When you're here, taking in the many sights tends to lead to lifelong memories that will have you dreaming of returning before you've even left.